We got an interruption there. I'm starting over just in case. Hi, everybody. This is Amanda Ewing, your OEA Legislative and Political Director. Joining me today is Chanson Flick, the LPO Specialist for Western Oklahoma.
How we doing?
Thanks for joining us for the Top 4 at 4. We're going to talk about, as always, the top 4 issues facing OEA at the Capitol today, and we always strive to do it in about 10 minutes. So on the agenda today, the topics we'll discuss are the candidate filing deadlines for today in the vacant House seats, House District 73 and 85. We're going to discuss rumors surrounding the education funding bill. Then we've got some great testing bills that we've talked about, and we've really got to keep the momentum going on those and see them through to the finish line, so I'll give you a little detail on that. And then Chanson will explain why we need to contact the Speaker and the Pro Tem asking for conference committee assignments for some bills. So let's get things started. Chanson, why don't you tell us about the races to fill the 2 vacant House seats right now?
Thank you, Amanda. Currently, due to some unforeseen circumstances and other special elections, there are 2 open seats in the House of Representatives. Special elections been set for this summer for House District 73, which was vacated by now Senator Kevin Matthews, and House District 85, which was recently held by the late Representative Dank. The candidates for the House District 73 race are Jeanette Marshall, Regina Goodwin, Joe Williams, Jonathan Townsend, Janetta Williams, Norris Minor, and Robert Lewis. And since all of these candidates are Democrats, the election will be decided at the primary on July 14th. And the House District 85 race here in Oklahoma City, we've had 1 Democrat and 4 Republicans file so far. The Democrat is Cindy Munson, and Republicans are Chip Carter, Matt Jackson, Amy Palumbo, and Ralph Crawford. Since there are both parties involved in this one, there will be a primary on July 14th for the Republicans, and a general election will be held on September 8th. So we'll be researching the candidates over the next few weeks to see if any of them merit our support, and we'll be keeping you advised on any changes with that.
All right, thanks, Chanson. So on to the next topic regarding the education funding, or generally the appropriations bill. We could see a budget bill any day, but it's sounding like it'll probably be next week before we actually see it. The rumors are circulating that Common Ed may receive a 1% budget cut as a whole, but there's still other rumors out there that it might be as big as 2%. Of course, we're going to do everything we can we are doing everything we can to advocate for that cut being minimal, if at all, and we'll let you know as soon as we find out anything concrete. But, you know, the good news is we're hearing that Common Ed should receive the smallest cuts of any agency in the state. But, of course, I know that you know better than anyone that we're in no position to take cuts to Common Ed at all. So we'll let you know what we find out as soon as we find out. And then moving on to the third topic, so many good testing bills out there right now, and we are so close, 2 to 3 weeks before they become law, and that's only going to happen if we really keep the momentum and the chatter up about the need to pass these bills. You know, there were a lot of downsides to this session so far. The fact that, education employees are unlikely to get the raise that so many were thinking we might get at the beginning of session, obviously the payroll deduction bill, but there's a real chance for this to be the session when legislators finally respond to your concerns about testing, and ending the session with these bills passing would be excellent. So on that topic, we're asking that you contact your representative and your senator about these specific bills that are there on the screen right now. Senate Bill 630 is the Reading Sufficiency Act bill that would extend the team decision. So we've got those teams making the decision whether to promote or retain a student instead of basing it just on a test score. And this would extend that team decision by another 5 years. So, some of these bills are going to go to conference. May be a while before your rep or your senator, one or the other, actually votes on them if they're not on the conference committee. But I just want to make clear, we're asking, go ahead and email them about all of these, because it's very important, and they could be through conference any day, and everything moves so fast right now. So the next bill we're asking is that you ask your representative and senator to support House Bill 1065. This says a third grade reading test should test reading, not language arts. On the topic of the teacher leader effectiveness evaluations, we're asking legislators to support House Bill 1290 or Senate Bill 706. Both of those bills delay the quantitative portion of the TLE and don't implement it while the State Department has time to get it right, since they want to include test scores as a part of evaluations, but we haven't yet figured out any legitimate way to do that. And then finally, on the topic of testing in general, we've got House Bill 1622 and Senate Bill 707. Both of those repeal the end of instruction exams, which is great news, but they're taking a little bit different route. One of them leans towards the ACT, one of them leads towards the Iowa Test of Basic Skills. Only one of them also addresses lowering the testing of 3rd through 8th graders to the federal minimum requirements and getting rid of all of our additional testing on grades 3 through 8. So the gist of that message for your representative and your senator is to say, whether you support 1622 or whether you support 707, we think the final version should include leeway for the state board to choose the test that they think is best. And if you feel comfortable, I would say also advocate that they choose a route that would allow the State Department to pick the ACT. And then also, either one of those bills that becomes the final version should lower the number of tests we administer to 3rd through 8th graders to the federal minimum. So, all right, Chanson, explain to us a little bit about the conference committee needs right now, and that's 2 more emails. Basically, we're asking for 4 emails in this from you in this webinar.
Thank you, Amanda. And as Amanda had said, we still have good bills alive at this point of session that still need a push. Leadership in each chamber is the parties that are responsible for assigning bills to conference committees. And in addition to contacting your representatives and your senators, we're asking for an additional contact for the bills that we have listed on the screen at the moment. We would like you to go ahead and contact Speaker of the House Jeff Hickman and President Pro Tempore Brian Bingman, and request that they assign these bills to conference committees to go ahead and keep the process rolling. For Speaker Hickman, you can reach him via phone at his office at 405-557-7339, or his email at jwhickman@okhouse.gov. For Pro Tem Bingman, you can reach him in his office at 405-521-5565, or through his email at bingman@oksenate.gov. Okay, so as Chanson explained, if these bills are going to keep moving, we've got to get them out of conference. So we're asking, please email the speaker about the specific bills you see on the screen, email the pro tem about the bills you see on the screen also, making clear that we ask them help get these bills out of conference. They've got to be assigned to conference before they can get out. So that's the big ask of both of them. And then we're asking, please email your senator and your representative regarding the bills on the previous slide. The RSA bills, end of instruction, TLE, great bills still out there, so let's make sure we get those through the process. As always, if you have any questions, you can contact the Legislative and Political Organizing Center at OEA. We'd be happy to talk more with you about this or provide you any additional information. Thanks so much for joining us. That's all we've got for this week, and we hope you'll join us again next week as well. We're getting closer and closer to the end of session, and your involvement is just, if not more, important than ever. So thanks for all you do, and we'll talk to you next week. Y'all be safe out there.
Bye.